This is the You, Me, and BTC podcast.
Cryptocurrency decrypted.
Welcome to episode 92. First up today, we're chatting about a digital piggy bank that's currently under development. It's supposed to help kids grasp the value of saving money, and it allows Bitcoin deposits and withdrawals. We'll share our thoughts on the product's design, its effectiveness, and much more. Then later in the show, we'll cover some news about the Ethereum project. The developers are struggling to come up with enough funds, and Vitalik Buterin has announced some changes that should help them adjust to a smaller budget. We'll also briefly touch on a Western Union location that now accepts Bitcoin. Your hosts today are Tim Baker, John Stuart, and myself, Daniel Brown. Here we go. Alright, hey everybody, welcome to the You, Me, and BTC podcast episode number 92. Glad to have you with us. I am Daniel Brown, and I'm here with
Timothy Baker.
And John Stuart.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever said Timothy, but if you were ever wondering, now you know. It's officially Timothy, not just Tim.
I just felt like it would help provide a more professional environment for the podcast. If we
I was thinking more
names.
Intimate, like...
Intimate too.
In most cultures, I mean, like in Japan, they call everybody by their last name until they're, like, real close.
Real close, okay. I mean, I'm fine with intimate too. I think intimate helps to facilitate cooperation in a professional atmosphere.
Yeah, so if you're one of those mystic types, you might believe that if you know Tim's real name, you can control him completely, so...
No, so they now have some kind of power over me, which I'm going to tell you now is not that good. You could just use a gun or something like that. You don't have to figure out someone's, like, magical name.
So we're going to kick today's show off with an interesting, I guess you could call it an invention. Sure. It's some product that's being worked on. It is a Bitcoin, well, that's actually one of the difficulties. I'm not sure if it's necessarily a Bitcoin piggy bank, but there is Bitcoin involved. And it's this company from Denmark that... it's a digital piggy bank, right? You can connect it to an app. It does look like...
It is a thing for incredibly privileged children who are not requiring of this thing, and I think that people should put their money in other directions and not towards facilitating something as superfluous as this.
Are you being sarcastic? Or...
Also, I'm tired of these kids being told to save money. I was not told to save this kind of money, and I really need these kids wasting their money to continue.
You save way too much money.
I need these kids spending all their money and putting it into the economy so that it at least keeps it going until I'm just about to die, so that I can kind of get some stuff. I need these kids to not be doing this. They can't be saving money at a young age. I need them taking those minimum wage jobs and working those for a good 20 years until they can find something to do with their degree.
Or, no, I mean, bigger jobs are fine, too, because then they pay into Social Security, which you get, as long as you're
you're right, because with the minimum wage, they could start taking some Section 8 housing. I mean, or some aid away from them. So actually, I don't know. I'm torn on this thing. I definitely don't like their commercial. The commercial shows way too many happy children. This is a legitimate complaint. They show like a toddler like staring at the screen, this grandmother like pointing at, like this kid has any idea what's going on besides bright flashing buttons in front of him.
He knows that he has money. I mean, how young were you when you understood that money was good?
I mean, I only really figured it out like 15 probably. I started to realize I could pay for stuff with my own money. Before that, it was kind of just this thing. No, I feel like you had to have like people gave you money and you were like understood. Like, yeah, this is money. Yeah, my grandmother, probably around like 3, I remember my grandmother giving us like, it was weird. She'd always give us money in quarters, but it'd be like a full medicine tube, like the orange bottles. So it was like $6, but it was all in quarters. I don't know why she did it like that.
Because she needed something to do with her spare change.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
I don't know.
Thank you, Daniel, for killing any kind of relationship I had with my grandmother anymore.
I don't know why you didn't think of that yourself.
Because I was trying to defend that memory as some kind of cherished thing, even though she was probably just doing it to get into heaven. I don't know.
So this piggy bank is called ERNIT without the A. So they want kids to care about money, but spelling doesn't matter. It's ERNIT.
No, Daniel, because they're also destroying the English language, trying to bring in other cultures with their Danishness.
Danishness?
So actually,
Where are they from?
Yeah, they're from Denmark.
Okay.
So actually, this is a good opportunity because clearly at least Tim is kind of pissed off and thinks this is insane. But I need to ask if you actually think it's insane and like a waste of time, or if you just it's not something you're really interested in. Do you think it's actually like a bad thing, or are you just being hyperbolic?
I think this is legitimately the worst thing that could be affecting America at this time. It's like this kind of threat coming from Denmark. I don't think we could stand for this.
Okay, I see. Now that's why I asked you to put aside the sarcasm. Yeah,
I'm just doubling down on Daniel because she should be able to figure out I don't just hate piggy banks for no reason. I don't want to have to explain that it's a joke, but whatever.
Okay, so you legitimately think that this is just a completely stupid...
No, it's fine. It's just like, I don't see the point of it. It's one of these things that, like, when we talked about things before, I don't understand. No, I do understand. I'm not going to personally see the use because I wasn't growing up whenever you could regularly, like the average person could just send me money to a little piggy bank. I understand.
You didn't get birthday cards with money in them?
No, I'm talking about it being like an electronic thing.
I guess, but you think they're actually going to send money more often than they used to?
No, I'm just saying I don't understand. It's not appealing to me because I'm not a parent and I'm not a child.
Okay.
So far as...
That does make a lot of sense because it is. It's for children and it's for parents. And
it's just not something that's going to appeal to me. I understand it and I get that kids are going to like it lighting up.
Okay, so it's understandable and kids will certainly enjoy it. Do you think it will teach them any good lessons, or is it just whatever? Okay, well, here, hang on. Before we get into that, let's give a few more details real quick, because we still haven't said a ton about it, other than some kind of Bitcoin digital piggy bank.
We like to drag the listener in, kind of see how long they can pay attention to see what's actually happening.
This is backtracking a little bit, but I just want to say that I love when I figure out that Tim is being sarcastic before Daniel does.
No, I knew he was being sarcastic. I knew he was being over the top, but that's why I was asking him to like slow down and tell me what it really was.
No, there was that one point where you asked him, and he started talking. You were like, okay, wait, no. You were kind of like tracking with him for a bit.
All right, you might be right. Anyway, so it's a little like a plastic toy shaped thing. I mean, it's sort of pig shaped, but it's a weird pig. I don't really know why they decided to make it this. I mean, we'll probably have a picture of it or something, or it's on Kickstarter. If you need to look it up, we'll link to it. But it's not really like a pig. I don't know what. I mean, it is. What is it? Why did they design it like that?
Because Daniel, it's 21st century. Yeah. No serifs on your fonts. Weird.
Yeah.
I hate the font on this picture, but it's just everything's. So,
it's hard to talk like about on a podcast, Piggy, but it's weird. It
looks more like a robot sex doll bank.
Yeah, whatever.
A robot sex doll bank.
I don't know. I was just looking at the picture and trying to figure something out.
So if you're saving money to buy a robot sex doll, you would put it in here.
Yeah, this is perfect for it. But I can kind of envision it like this, but not really.
Yeah.
It's like just enough to tease you.
I guess the more important part of it is the app, because the piggy bank itself is just kind of a representation for the pigs. The app itself.
The word.
Wait, I said that. Did I say for pigs or for kids?
I don't know.
It's a representation for kids.
I mean, it could be for both.
Yeah.
Maybe the pigs are like, I wish I could be like that thing.
The app itself, though, I guess that's kind of cool. What it does, it has a kids section and a parents section. The kid can log in and select, what he's saving up for. He can just keep track of his progress. And the parents can log in. I see some stuff about like chores here. Like if you do a chore, you can set how much money you get for that. and they can like notify, like say parents, grandparents or aunts, uncles. They can kind of notify them and tell them how they can donate to the kid through this app and stuff. So it's kind of a savings app with a flashy piggy to go with it. And I guess where Bitcoin comes in is you can cash into this piggy bank with Bitcoin, and you can cash out of the piggy bank with Bitcoin. So that's kind of cool. I don't know, though, how it's denominated. While it's in the piggy bank, is it denominated in dollars or in Bitcoin? I'm really not sure. I feel like it must be dollars, because
I'd imagine to be in dollars.
Yeah, they hardly mention Bitcoin here, other than it's just a possibility. So,
okay, I have to eat something because I'm gonna die if I don't. I'll be back.
All right, time out for John. I guess we'll keep going, though.
We lost one of them.
Man down.
There were two.
Apparently all this talk about pig was making him hungry.
John doesn't have a very good... I was going to say work ethic, but I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No, it's true. This is one of John's jobs, and he just bailed on us.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have very good work ethic when it comes to
Should we fire him, Tim?
For, like, right now?
Yeah, I mean, we can't have people walking out in the middle of a show.
I mean, he did do that. That's pretty unprofessional.
He's under contract.
I said Timothy at the beginning, and he's just walking out. He probably did it because of that, too.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm just waiting for the first kid to just figure out that his parents are retarded and just send him all the money he wants.
Okay. Yeah, so let's... I think I was asking about that kind of thing before, and then I said we'll back up and talk about the design. Do you think the kids will get anything out of this other than... I mean, I think it would be... If I was a 5-year-old, I think this would be pretty exciting with the lights and whatever. But in terms of, like, healthy monetary lessons, like, say you were a parent, Tim, and you wanted your kid to grow up and actually have some money and handle it well, would this be helpful at all?
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful, but I don't see how much
helpful
more helpful it is.
Helpful how?
It is helpful for, like, setting up a way for them to save money, and it shows them, like, if you actually do it responsibly and don't just send them money every week or every single day. It depends on if the kid's old enough that you think they should have a allowance or whatever you do. The whole point is to teach them patience and the fact that if you wait longer for something, you can get something better. Now, I think part of the problem with this is it would depend on how they do it, is I do like it more, I guess, like the idea more of giving kids access to their money so that they can mess up and buy the stupid thing for like $10 when they were trying to save for 20 and that thing breaks.
Yeah, I'm not
sure. And they get to cry. I'm all about people crying. So
I'm not sure if that'll be possible either, but that would be a decent lesson to let them control their own money and learn what happens when you spend it unwisely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it, but I mean, you can get that taught by just putting money into a jar and then just saying, and then giving them a goal to save it towards anyway. I understand everybody wants to make it more tied in, so I guess it's easier for grandma and grandpa to send money.
Right.
I really like the feeling of old bills, Daniel. I can't get over how dirty they are.
Yeah, back in my day, money was made out of paper and you had to get it from the government. That was something they joked about in John's, he was on, if anybody doesn't know, he was on a World Crypto Network show called Transmission. Look it up, they joked about that. Anyway, another thing about responsibility that I think is important is just don't give them money all the time. I guess you kind of said that, but if they make it really easy for especially grandparents, I feel like there are some not everyone, but some grandparents out there they just want to spoil the crap out of their grandkids. And if they had a system like this, they might feel like giving them like $10 a day, because if they don't wet the bed, I'll give you $10. Like, you can't just throw money at them and expect them to learn about saving healthily. But anyway, that's the parents' problem, I guess, not really the piggy bank designers' problems. So yeah, they do have this. It's a Kickstarter. I think I said that earlier. But if you want to get an ERNIT, you can, let's see, the pledges here are, the first one to get an ERNIT is $60. So all you parents out there better start, you better get a piggy bank so you can save up and buy a piggy bank.
Yeah.
And
a piggy bank that doesn't really look like a piggy.
Yeah.
It just looks like this kind of weird white, completely...
That's holy crap. That's 50% off the retail price too. So retail is going to be $120. So all you parents out there, if you don't do it through Kickstarter, not only are you going to need a piggy bank, but you're going to need to call up your possibly dead grandparents and ask them to start donating money to you. So that
possibly dead... What are they...
What? What if their grandparents are dead?
Well, then they wouldn't be calling them, Daniel. That's just going to create like an
Tim,
even worse situation for this kid to
Tim,
be in. You want him to cry too and not learn how to save money?
Tim, I don't actually think that it's possible to call dead people, all right? This is...
Okay, man, I just want to make sure that you're like thinking about these things before you just put them out there. Especially if they're retarded like that.
That's... Oh, my... I don't want to get into this right now. It wouldn't be stupid if you didn't just, like, say that... you understood what I was saying. But you just chose to be like, that's so dumb. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Why are you saying that?
Because I felt like bothering you, because John's not here. We're kind of... They come in different colors, though. I didn't see that, though.
Oh, nice. What color are you getting?
I'd say I'd go with the pink one, because that's the only one that actually kind of looks like a pink.
What is your saving situation like right now? Are you a good saver, or do you need to learn about saving?
I think I'm a pretty decent saver. It's that I just don't make enough money to save. I mean, I'm not the best. I could learn more, but my parents did a decent job of going, you don't have this, then we're not going to give you this, so you got to save for that.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, what about you, John? Are you do you need to learn about saving, or are you a good saver?
What do you mean by saving?
I don't know. Like, do you handle your money well, or do you?
I would say so. See, I think about this a lot. I think this has to do with my personality type, but like my like bookkeeping is so abstract. I'm like, yeah, I made some money, so I'll like spend a little bit. No, I didn't make so much money, so I won't spend so much. But I like don't do numbers. It's all just like these like abstract amounts that I have in my head, like of a little bit, kind of a decent amount.
Kind of keep track of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so like it seems to be working for me. If you're talking about like saving for things like this app is, I'm good at that. Like I mean, I just bought this new mic. Like that's what I do. I like everything I want to buy is expensive, so I have to save.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm like bipolar when it comes to saving when it comes to bookkeeping, because with my personal spending, I don't keep any track at all. I'm just like, I think I have money, because I don't know. I never really run out of money. I don't know why I don't, but somehow it just keeps coming. So I'm like, all right, I normally just buy whatever I want for myself. But when it comes to like keeping books for you, me, and BTC or anything else, I got like spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets, and like I customize them, and I have some flashy colors for profit and loss and whatever.
Don't fuck around with spreadsheets.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't really know. Yeah, personally, I don't actually. At the moment, I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like a super stickler. At the moment, I'm kind of splurging a lot. I don't really know why. That might not be a good thing.
Yeah, I think I kind of go in waves too. It's like I know I made a lot of money or something, so then I'll just be like,
yeah.
I can afford to spend buy like $2 coffee every day for a month, and then I'm like, oh, that was kind of like I spent like $50, $60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just spent like right before we did the live show, I went and just bought like $40 worth of that kombucha stuff. So yeah, I get what you mean with that.
Well,
like you just out of nowhere just spend.
If anyone out there is a high roller and you don't need to worry about saving money, you can pledge $3,000 and buy ERNITs for your whole kindergarten.
I thought you were gonna say they could give us money, but
well, that's true too.
Yeah, I'm all about that too. I'd much rather you just give us the money.
Yeah, we have tipping addresses.
We love to splurge.
Yeah, we have a tipping address.
I want to splurge. That's my new thing. And like my goal for life is just to splurge all the time.
Pamper yourself. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
I don't really know where I was, but if you're an absolute terrible money saver or whatever, there's a better perk. For $6,000, you can meet the team behind ERNIT. They'll fly you to Copenhagen for 5 days.
Ooh.
I don't really know why.
That's not what I want to splurge on.
Like even if you had the money, like, oh my gosh, I really want to meet these piggy bank people. Please take me to Copenhagen. I really don't understand why even like a parent with a lot of money would want to do that.
I think the idea behind that is more if you spend that much, you're just trying to help them out and they want to meet you.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, check out the ERNIT if you have kids and you want to teach them to save. Or if you are a kid and somehow you've saved up $60 to pledge. And you
or
really
if you can trick your parents into doing this for you so that then later on you can hack their phones and then just send you all kinds of money.
I just saw the GIF where he like pushes the eyeballs in or whatever.
Yes.
Like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, it's a really weird design, yeah. No, those aren't eyeballs, those are nostrils. That's its like snout.
Yeah, the eyeballs are on top.
Okay. Let's talk about that more. I don't care what he's pushing. He's pushing something.
I don't care what he's pushing on this thing. He shouldn't be pushing nothing. Piggy banks don't get pushed.
He's pushing something.
Are you tired of Bitcoin dice and ready for something different? Try LuckyBit, the original falling coin game, at luckybit. It's the most exciting Bitcoin game on the web. You can bet on 5 different payout lines and win up to 999 times your bet. You can even use their faucet to get some free Bitcoin. Dice is boring. Play different at LuckyBit. Check it out at luckybit.
So now we're going to talk about Ethereum. You've probably heard of them because everybody loves to talk about them. According to Daniel, people are just like jacking off all the time about Ethereum.
Yeah,
like constantly, like all over the place.
It's like one of those things
it's
where
covering
like,
the internet.
Seems like nobody has any idea what's actually going on with them. It's just like everybody's talking about them. But today, I guess, just cut it. Just cut it all. There's a CoinDesk article somewhere, sometime, someplace that is talking about Ethereum. And the reason is that Vitalik Buterin, that guy, Vitalik, he made a blog post giving a rundown on the current situation of Ethereum, which is in flux in a way that seems maybe not so good, but maybe somewhat unavoidable. I guess one big part of it is the headline was something about $9 million shortfall or something, which is a little bit misleading because I guess what happened is that from all the money that they raised in Bitcoin they were planning to sell, they lost $9 million in potential capital because they didn't sell enough Bitcoin before the price started dropping, which I guess like you can't really blame them. Like, they lost $9 million potential. It's not like they lost this money that people gave them, because I think it's still worth more than it was at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's that. I guess, I mean, the problem with that is that they're starting to have money problems elsewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest point here, is just that they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, so what it sounds like is that they've kind of have more employees than they really need, and they've been working more and spending more money than they anticipated. I guess they've cut some people, and they're planning to cut a little bit more jobs from their core team. I mean, it is an open source project, so I'm sure there's people working on it for free. But they're cutting paid staff and have cut some. I guess he says, note that a substantial number of Ethereum Foundation subsidiary staff is going to be moving over to the rapidly growing for-profit Ethereum ecosystem over the next half year in order to bring more funds, interest, and development effort into Ethereum land. So I guess that's like they're no longer going to be employed by the project, but they're trying to move them into positions within the stuff that they're doing, the for-profit side. That's kind of vague, I guess. What do you guys think?
I have never really looked at Ethereum that much, honestly, because, I don't know, I was just never too interested in it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way because I really, I know they're kind of working on smart contracts and stuff, but I've heard a million people talk about them, and I've never really seen much happen. So I'm not really saying they're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying it's like, I don't really know anything about it. I don't really know what they're getting at. And that could be my fault. Probably is, but that's where I'm at. So
now, can you explain a little bit to me about, like, we mentioned the burning money, or maybe we didn't. John, do you know how that works? Like the proof of, is it proof of burn or something like that?
No. That's not.
Or is that completely something different?
Well, burning is a real thing, but when they say burn rate in this article, they just mean that's how much they're spending every month. Okay. But yeah, burning, you can burn.
Yeah, I knew
any cryptocurrency where you send it to a certain address that nobody has access to, and it's burned. But yeah, this is just their expenditures, which are kind of shocking. I mean, again, this is probably just my ignorance. I probably just am not that well versed on the costs of development, but apparently they're spending $420,000 a month, or they were, and right now they're spending $350,000 a month, and they want to get it down to $200,000 a month. All of those numbers just seem extremely high to me. Like, I mean, I guess if you got a full-time team that's trying to develop something, yeah, I mean, I guess it should cost that much. It just kind of blows my mind.
If you have, tell me if I'm doing the math right on this. Like, if you have 100 employees, you're paying them $200,000 a year. That's $400,000 a month, right?
Wait, you mean $200,000 for each employee?
Yeah.
I don't think their salaries would be that high.
No, I don't think they are, but that's excluding expenditures on stuff that they need and whatever development. That's just employees. I mean, I'm just saying, I guess a big company that has a bunch of employees is spending way more than that a month.
Right. Yeah.
Just on people's salaries, not even including other things.
Yeah. Yeah, so it really is just a big business thing, which I guess is kind of a question in and of itself. I mean, Bitcoin is open source. I mean, we got the Bitcoin Foundation and some developers who work on it and stuff, sort of for pay. I guess that's mostly where the pay comes from is probably through the Bitcoin Foundation. But I don't know. Is that something that is really going to get the Bitcoin space anywhere when everything is kind of commercialized and everything is such high cost? Or would you prefer that it was just kind of an independent thing, even if it was slower, but just kind of more focused on the open source? People just develop in little groups and they work on their own little projects in their spare time or whatever. Any thoughts on that? Like, is it helpful to have a giant corporation spending so much money on a project that isn't even Bitcoin?
Well, they're not a giant corporation.
Yeah, I guess. What is that? What I said? Did I say giant corporation?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a nonprofit.
Yeah, a foundation. Yeah.
And I mean, if you want Bitcoin to change the world, that's how it's going to have to work. Because that's giant corporations are part of that.
I mean, yeah, I could sort of see that. I guess I just keep thinking about Bitcoin itself, though, where it started with, Satoshi, and for a long time it was just random people doing development for nothing and just trying to make good software, right? And I guess I don't know enough about today. I mean, people like Mike Hearn on XT, or I don't know, does Adam Back do developing? But I don't know, the people out there who come up with these ideas and develop these things, I guess I just feel like most of the time the really good ideas don't come out of foundations. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of the feeling I get.
I agree with you, but I think this infrastructure and stuff that we need for people to actually use it is going to have to come from stuff like that. I mean, like, we hate on Coinbase all the time, but like we've talked about how stuff like Coinbase is going to be necessary if you're going to get mass adoption.
That's true, yeah. It reaches more people. Yeah, I definitely see that.
And I mean, you can't have like a team of 10 guys doing Coinbase. Like, that's just not going to work. Like, doing it in their spare time.
Right. But another thing, though, then is Coinbase is for profit. So then I guess I would ask, if there's going to be this much money going around, why does it have to be a non-profit? Like, why can't they...
I can answer that, I think, pretty easily.
All right.
I mean, Ethereum project is open source, which means I guess all that they have to offer is IP, and they made it open source. Like, they can't really be for profit. And that's why he said, like, their subsidiary staff is going to be moving to the for-profit Ethereum ecosystem. So I guess there's plans to be stuff outside of the foundation that is for-profit. But I mean, if you have an open source project, it can't be for-profit, can it?
Yeah, that reminds me of like Linux, where I guess that's kind of the same way. Linux has probably some foundations and stuff. And like Tor, right? Isn't there some kind of Tor foundation or some foundation that created Tor, and it's all non-profit?
Well, DARPA created it.
Oh yeah, it was a military. But yeah, but is there all right, I'm looking it up. Is there
I know, I think I was actually reading about that today. I think there is like a group that works on it.
The Tor Project.org, is that a foundation? Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, are they established as a nonprofit? I don't know. But anyway, Linux, I know, has foundations, whatever. So yeah, I guess it is true that a lot of open source development has to come through nonprofits. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just question the effectiveness of throwing around, maybe the efficiency of throwing around that much money. But I guess there are bad things about doing things in such small portions too. So whatever. Maybe I'm just blabbering on about money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all just depends on whether they need that much money to actually do it.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like I said, to me, it's something that's I'm kind of ignorant about. Not really ignorant. I've just never witnessed how much money it really costs to develop software. I've heard that it's a ton, right? I mean, it's any software. It's going to take a team of developers, a year or two to develop. That's a ton of money right there for salaries and whatever. So, yeah, I've never been a part of that, but I guess it is true when you think about it. Yeah, of course it should cost that much money. So I guess we could talk about these possible revenue streams, though. In terms of income, they're possible revenue streams. The only ones they mention here are workshops and conferences, which apparently are already underway. Yeah, I guess you can make money there if you do the right things. Those are profitable events, so we'll see what happens.
Did we mention they say that they're going to try to be more committed to being transparent about their finances?
That's true too, yeah. And I think that's a must-have for a nonprofit. It sounds like a good thing. For a company in the Bitcoin space, it sounds like a good thing. But if you're both of those things, if you're a nonprofit in the Bitcoin space, taking donations or like fundraising from the community, yeah, you better be as transparent as you possibly can if you're trying to do stuff like that. So yeah, I hope they do. Because that's, like I said, like I've had trouble really getting my mind around Ethereum or what they're even. I haven't seen much come out of it. But the idea is I still do like those. I like smart contracts, and I really want to see a lot of this happen. So I guess I do want them to succeed. So I want them to be transparent. I want them to fix these budget problems and whatever. It's just, I got to see that. So far, I haven't seen a ton, so.
Join the club, join the club, join the Bitcoin Talk Club.
Interested in Bitcoins or altcoins? Love chatting? We are the place for you. Bitcoin Talk Club is a new form sensation coming to a computer near you. Whether you're a professional coin developer or someone that wants to know more, our doors are open for you. We are looking for people to join and help build this forum into a one-stop knowledge base for everyone's needs. We're looking for you at BitcoinTalk.club.
Join the club, join the club, join the Bitcoin Talk Club.
So we have one more interesting little thing to talk about. It's not, I mean, it shouldn't be too long, but there's apparently a Western Union station that is accepting Bitcoin. There's just an image here of a Western Union banner with the Bitcoin logo on it. And I guess it's mostly interesting because a lot of the Bitcoin community just has some kind of spite for Western Union because Western Union charges gigantic fees to send money across borders, and with Bitcoin it's pennies and it's instant and everything, right? Do you guys remember any of that? Just like there were probably a couple memes, or maybe just one, where somebody just did a comparison and just bashed Western Union compared to Bitcoin. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Really? I feel like okay, whatever. All right,
Not
fine.
a specific thing.
I feel like I remember going through it with you guys, but whatever, maybe we didn't. But anyway, so what do you guys think? Western Union, this is just one guy. Apparently, different people can set up Western Union and accept different methods however they want. Somebody suggested that it's kind of a franchising thing. But yeah, so somebody out there is doing this, and it's in Curacao. Does it make sense? Would it be worthwhile to spend your Bitcoin through Western Union? Is that ever a worthwhile thing to do?
No.
Tim?
Why would that be useful?
So, my theory, I thought I mentioned this before we started recording, but maybe I didn't. My theory was that maybe the recipient doesn't want Bitcoin. So you have to...
Is that what BitPay is for?
Yeah, but a recipient can't really set up BitPay without dealing with Bitcoin. Well, BitPay,
I guess if you're talking about like one person to one person, just...
Yeah, well, that's what Western Union normally is. And yeah, you're right. The recipient could run it through an exchange, but that's a hassle. And especially if you're... Well, yeah, if they've never used Bitcoin, they're not going to set up an entire exchange account and whatever transfers just to accept your money. Or maybe they're in a country where they can't accept Bitcoin. So I'm sitting here with Bitcoin and I want to send you money if, I don't know, family member, or I need to pay for something, whatever. If I have the Bitcoin, wouldn't it be easier to just pay it directly to Western Union rather than exchange it and then give the cash to Western Union? Does that seem like a use case?
Yeah, I'll give you this one. I guess.
All right.
I mean, it's probably not a very often something that happens. But...
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I would say that it's still going to be expensive, right? You're still using Western Union. You're still paying whatever frickin' fees are out there. So you're not really saving money. You're still spending a ton of fees. But for one party or the other, it's going to be slightly more convenient just because I don't have to exchange it, right? I don't have to exchange it to give cash to Western Union, and the recipient doesn't have to exchange it to get cash out of Western Union. So it's just one really minor, a pretty rarely needed step of convenience. And yeah, whatever. Somebody out there's doing it. Maybe somebody's using it. I just thought it was interesting, worth putting a few minutes in on, because a lot of, I guess you guys don't remember this either, but there was kind of some animosity between Bitcoin and Western Union.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, though, looking at the picture of the guy's, like, sign.
Yeah, I don't even know. It looks like it's outside a convenience store, maybe. It's just like this big banner out on an outdoor wall. There's a security camera right next to it. The Reddit post that this was in, the caption was, "Am I dreaming?" And it kind of disintegrated. All the comments are like talking about lucid dreaming and how the human brain works and proof of...
Yeah, I mean, it's always the first guy that posted just threw it off. And...
Yeah. Primacy of existence versus primacy of consciousness. And there's like some big quote about consciousness and existence. Anyway. So, what's up, guys? Advice of the day. We need some tips. Let's see, what all did we hit today? 3. We don't normally do 3 stories. The first one was the piggy bank. Second one was Ethereum. Third one was Western Union. Advice of the day, go.
My advice for the week is always edit your podcasts and cut out.
John's advice is you need to find your inner child and get in touch with them.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I can put words in your mouth. I can put words in your microphone. Daniel can put all kinds of words in your track.
I thought the child thing was referring to the piggy bank, but
don't save your money, fools.
Don't save your money.
That's what Tim's
Keep on
advice
spending.
is.
You know what?
Keep
putting
on spending.
words in his mouth.
I think
splurge. Treat yourself.
I think my advice of the day has to be, if you're ever going to design a piggy bank, make it look something like a piggy. I mean...
Oh, that looks something like a piggy.
Yeah. It does look something, especially the pink one.
But make it look more than something like a piggy, like, I don't know. It just, look it up, guys. It's weird. It's not terrible. It's just, why'd you have to do that? Anyway, did we all give advice? Did we get something out of you, Tim? No, because you were just talking about John's advice. What's your advice,
his
Tim?
advice was don't save your money.
Oh, I thought... All right.
And splurge.
You
put
deserve
that in his
mouth,
to spend all the money.
I actually seriously like the splurge advice. I mean, you deserve it, right? Don't treat yourself like a homeless man. Splurge.
Don't treat yourself like an un-American.
Treat
you deserve
yourself.
all those things you buy. You have water. You have food. Think of how much you're blessed with. If you had all that money, if an African child had all that money, he'd definitely be splurging it. He wouldn't be worrying about spending it on something in the future. He'd just be like, give me all that food.
All right. Guess we're cutting it there.
And once again, Tim disgraces the entire continent of Africa.
Thanks for listening to episode 92. All of the music in today's show was from John Stuart. Remember to check out this week's show notes at youmeandbtc.com and leave us a comment. We'll see you next Thursday.